Hello, I'm Renee from the Bee and Bear Homestead, and today we're talking about how to set up a brooder box if you're going to bring home chicks. 1 week ago, we brought home baby chicks. They were just a day old when we brought them home. So before we brought them home, we set up the brooder box. And it's a really pretty simple thing to do. The chicks just need a few basic things. They need heat. You want your brooder box to be about 90 degrees for the first week, and then you can lower it by about 5 degrees for every additional week. And they usually stay inside for at least 8 weeks, maybe up to 12 weeks. So to give them enough heat, then you just need a heat lamp, and you can get these at any sort of store that has the supplies you might need for chickens. It's just a livestock heat lamp with a heat shield, and we have it set up on this clamp so it's easy to hang above the box at the right height. And to lower the heat in your box, you can just lift it up higher. To make sure they're warm enough, you can raise it down lower. They also are going to need food, of course, and so you want to have a way to feed them. We have this sort of antique feeder that's set up with a mason jar. It's really handy, and you can find a lot of them around used, and also at any sort of store that sells supplies for chickens, you can find similar things, but you can also just use a jar lid or something like that. We have 10 chicks, so we'd have to probably refill that quite a bit. So this is working really well. And we also have a similar antique water dispenser with a mason jar and a little tray for it as well. So they need food and water and heat. And then you want to change their bedding about every 2 days or so. Our chicks are due for a change in their brooder box, because if you don't keep it clean and sanitary, they have a much greater chance of getting sick. We put a little bit of rocks that we cleaned in their water, and that just helps make sure they don't get pressed down into their water and potentially drowned. The size of your box does matter. You want to make sure that they have enough room to space out a little bit, and that they also have enough room to be warm and get their food and water. But it's pretty easy to tell if they have enough space. You just watch your chicks. If they're too hot, they're going to be all pressed against the edges of your box trying to get away from their heat. And if they're too cold, they're going to be all clumped together trying to stay warm. So if you're worried about whether or not they have enough room, or if it's too warm or too cold in your box, just be observant, watch your chicks, and you'll be able to tell how they're doing. So little baby chicks don't need too much. Just keep them clean, keep them fed, give them water, and keep them warm, and they'll be okay. We just changed our chicks' bedding, and I remembered one more thing I forgot to tell you. You want to try to keep them free from drafts, so keep them a little cozy, and also maybe stop them from being so scared about everything that might happen around them. So it's a good idea to just have a little cover for part of their brooder, and that will keep them a little bit warmer and feeling a little bit more secure. And you can just put a simple piece of cardboard over the top, especially when they're this little. So I hope that helps you learn how to set up your chicken brooder box.